Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of My Dog is Having a Nightmare Outside This Door. Today we're going to drink a beer. It's from Blackburn Brewing Company in Niagara Falls, Ontario. It is called White Waters IPA, and I put it off until the point it was the last beer from Blackburn I was drinking because I kept thinking it was a white IPA. I forgot that they like to take things from around the Niagara region and turn that into their name. So it's White Waters IPA because there is a lot of white waters in Niagara. What do we got here? 50 IBU, 6% alcohol by volume. Ingredients: water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. Glassware, a brewhouse glass. That's basically like reading glassware suggestions on the back of a GLB glass. GLB Atlantic glass, this brewhouse glass. I kind of have a brewhouse glass. Serving temperature 3 to 5 degrees. Well, no, it's not 3 to 5 degrees. It's probably about 15 to 17 degrees. As bold as Niagara's rapids and made with the same water. Oh God, don't say that. Niagara Falls water is known to be like the cause. Niagara Falls has one of the highest rates of thyroid and throat cancer across the country, and that's all because of the water. The Love Canal, if anyone wanted to go look up the Love Canal, a lot of companies were dumping their industrial waste right into the Love Canal, and it became your drinking water. Also, like Port Colborne, some of the highest ratings of lead in water, and some of the highest ratings of childhood behavioral problems. The Niagara region is not the greatest place to drink the drinking water. Good thing in the south, cases of bottled water are a lot cheaper. Anyway, made with the same water. Citrus and floral hops rush to the nose, while a fresh, clean body follows, and delivers a beer perfect for all of your own small victories. As unforgettable as the rapids, and even more exciting. So, really, I lived in the Niagara region for a long time. I drank the water in the Niagara region for a long time. That's how I became albino. No, it's not. And I know, the water's boiled and all that when you make beer with it. I just had to make that joke. It was the first chance I've ever got to make that joke because nobody's really been like, we make this with Niagara Falls water ever before this. Creemore likes to talk about their spring water. Lots of places like to talk about their spring water, but usually you don't get, we have some of the highest contaminated water in the world, and, well, not the world, that's me over exaggerating, but that's usually not something. I don't know why I put that over there. I haven't sniffed out of the can yet. That's a thing I do. I sniff it out of the can, so I can't put the can back there yet. So I really do like that the Blackburn cans are all pretty close to the same. I do like that. Scent out of the can. What's it tell me I'm supposed to be sniffing here? Citrus and floral hops. Oh, citrus and floral. Okay, so they don't tell me what. It's not like it's citra, it's citrus. Okay. I don't smell much, really. It kind of just smells like beer out of the can. It really does. I mean, I like a very nice scented IPA, but it doesn't always happen with an IPA. Glass? We didn't even look at it yet. Yeah, not really much. There's a little bit of citrus, and I'd say orange and mango. Very minuscule, and just hoppiness. But it's a nice hazy golden color. I do like the look. Let's try it. Cheers. Okay, so it said 50 IBU. I wouldn't think that. And yes, I know that I've been drinking craft beer for a long time, so IBU doesn't affect me as much as it does some other people. But IPAs aren't my style of choice. So a lot of times I'm kind of sensitive to a high IBU beer. This doesn't have much going on it. A little bit of malty sweetness, and we're talking like slight caramel, slight just regular malt sweetness. And a little bit of earthiness at the back end. Bready, biscuity, earthy. And I would say that's about it. Maybe a slightly overripe orange, like both the peel and the orange itself. Like when it's so overripe that the peel has gotten thin, that type of thing. Because there is like a little bit of almost citrus oil in there, but it's not a flavor of either the peel or the flesh itself. It's just kind of there. I can't say it doesn't drink well. 6% alcohol. Wouldn't be able to tell that. Excuse me. If you're not an IPA fan, this would really be a good IPA. And it's 50 IBU, and I mean, it does have that earthiness. It does have that earthiness on the back end. It does have that kind of bitterness on the back end that some people that hate IPAs because of. But it's subtle enough that I think that the average person could drink it. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe Blackburn, all the styles I've had, what did I have? I had a lager. I had a light lager. I had a black lager. I had, I think there was 6 of them sent, wasn't there? This is the IPA, so what would the other 2 have been? Oh, I think there was an amber. And either there was 5 of them, or there was one more. Maybe a wheat beer? I'll have to look it up. But, from their size and from their prices, I think they're existing to push a lot of beer. And I mean, if you're pushing a lot of beer, usually to push a lot of beer, you either have to be the best at what you do, or you have to be good. And I think they've gone for the good, solid brewery. Black Oak used to smooth a lot of beer, and they had just 2 beers, a nut brown and a pale ale. They've brought in other things over time. Steam Whistle with the Steam Whistle Pilsner. And they brought out new things now, like 15 years down the road. But I mean, again, a brewery that was good, you couldn't really complain about the beer. So I think that's the route they went. Let's be good, and everybody can drink our beer. And you could go anywhere and buy this. This can be the local beer that's all over Niagara Falls, all over the Niagara region. Because yes, I, the Albino Rhino, might say I like Brimstone better. I like Counterpart better. I like Cayman Kettle better as a brewery that brings out interesting new beers. I like, but at the same time, some of the beers those guys make, yes, they're great, and I love them. But I know the masses won't love them. And this is a beer the masses could love. Yes, I like a lot of Silversmith beers. Yes, I like a lot of Osthouse beers. Like some Exchange. This is like the Exchange, but more for the masses. The Exchange makes good beer. They do make good beer. But the beers the Exchange make usually are way overpriced because first off, where the Exchange is, and second off, because of the bottles and everything else. But they're fairly simple beers, and that's sad to say because their brewmaster, if it's still the same guy, came from the US, and he came from a very well-known brewery making amazing beer. And he came up here to, well, not up here, but he came up to Niagara Falls, and he started making beers at Niagara-on-the-Lake that were not as good as the things he was making in the past. This is good in that it's good. Most of the beers I've had from Blackburn, I could drink 5 or 6 of in a night and not complain. I could have a 12-pack. I could have a 2-4 of in the house and not complain. But I think the IPA was the style, the most out there style of all their beers, and I expected the most out of it. And I think for the most part, I got kind of the least out of it for what the style should bring to the table. I don't dislike the beer. The beer is good, and I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because I would buy it again. But my overall feeling about the brewery so far on the beers I've had is meh. And it's meh not because the beers are bad, because the beers aren't bad. It's meh because they're not rememberable. They're not remarkable. And sometimes not being remarkable is good, and sometimes it's bad. And with Niagara becoming another one of the hot spots of the craft beer industry in Ontario, and I mean not Niagara Falls itself, but all of Niagara, right? When you say Niagara, you're talking like Fonthill, Ridgeway, Fort Erie, Crystal Beach, Niagara Falls, St. Catharines. Fuck, in some instances you would be talking about like Beamsville for Bench and all that. Like, yes, they're all out there, Niagara on the Lake, but they're like the GTA, right? And the Niagara region is like the GTA. When you say Niagara, you might mean Niagara Falls, but most people think the entire region that are from there. So when you're looking at what some of the breweries are putting out in the region, it's kind of meh. But at the same time, when you think about whether or not this beer has mass appeal, and you wouldn't have to be a craft beer nerd to love it, and you wouldn't have to be somebody that, was really into different styles to love it. All the beers are solid. All the beers can be brewed quickly. All the beers can be brewed on a large scale. All the beers can be pushed to a large market. Once the casino opens, I would suggest the casino looks at the breweries in Niagara Falls themselves to be their breweries of choice for craft beer. I know they had some Niagara Brewing Company beers on draft because of Dino. You know what? Fuck Dino. Stop giving Dino money because Dino owns one of the buildings you guys are in. Maybe keep one of Dino's beers on tap somewhere. But Blackburn and Counterpart should probably be who you go to. One Counterpart is amazing for a craft brewery, and it would be your craft beer choice at the casinos. But Blackburn would be your craft beer choice for somebody that says, hey, can I try something local? Well, what do you normally drink? I don't know, Heineken, something like that. That would be the beer to push. So out of 10, 7. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.